Someone, if you can just confirm that.
Yes, Sanal, it's very, very clear. Go ahead.
Wow. Thank you, Shibu. So, welcome everyone to day 5 of Anapanasati Foundation course. So, I'm sure it's interesting. It's going good for everyone. It's a long journey. All right. So, let's do a recap of what happened yesterday. So, yesterday we discussed about the body and mind connection. Let me just pull up the slide. Okay. So we discussed a bit in detail about the lifestyle diseases that typically happens, and what the research says is almost 70% of 70 to 80% of all the visits to the doctors are all almost stress related. So these are typically called as lifestyle diseases, and one of the reasons the research has found is 70% of thought on an average is all negative in nature, and by default, 95% of thoughts are repetitive in nature, which is called as rumination from the technical perspective. So when we have a misalignment between this thought and related activities that we get into, it creates stress and it affects the immune system. And by that, it also, so because of that stress, we get into a lot of diseases and unease situations. We also touched upon the various effects like placebo effect, nocebo effect, psychomatic illness, and etc. And the very reason why this all happens is the mind. The mind is a very, very powerful weapon for health. And understanding this power of mind is very important because we are dealing with the mind while we are meditating. And because mind is occupied with a lot of thoughts. Apart from thought, is also occupied with feelings. And I'm sure you'll agree with me when we say that mind is occupied with pleasant and a lot of unpleasant thoughts and feelings as well. So there are various reasons why this awareness is getting hooked into our awareness is getting hooked into these particular thoughts, and these typically are the people, things, and circumstances. So there were some examples highlighted. What are the reasons? To explain the examples of the person going to an office and various situations, circumstances an individual can get into, and due to which it is directly or indirectly affecting our moods and our feelings and our thoughts. So every time these get into our mind and it starts getting affected, and we all know every cell has certain energy in it, and overall with the calculation it's getting around 3.5 trillion volts of energy in the whole body. So what is the responsibility? How to take the responsibility of directing our awareness? And the only answer is meditation. So Anapanasati meditation is one technique, one simplest form of technique where we can bring the breath awareness into, we can create awareness to our breath. We can bring our mind to settle down and typically be with this present moment. So that's how beautiful this meditation is going to help all of us. So instead of depending on others creating a reality, you have the power to create your own reality. It's that powerhouse this meditation is. So I think with that recap of what we did last time, I'll now welcome Mr. Sampath Kumar to take over the session from here. Sampath, over to you.
Thank you very much. Shibu, Sunil, sorry. Except when you asked if your volume was good enough, rest all of the time your volume went low. Next time, please take care of that.
Okay.
No problem. It's okay. For today, good morning, friends. Good evening, Shibu, and all those who are joining from other countries. Hello to all. So, meditation, day 5. So where are we going? Day one, we learned about what is meditation. Day two, what happens in meditation. Day three, day four, breath, body-mind connection. So now we have enough information. Am I audible? Let me also check once.
Yes, Sampath.
Yes,
Thank you.
you are.
Thank you. So we have enough of theory now. We know that we are body, mind. We know that we have breath. We know how to do meditation, and we know we have some information about what are the experiences that we might get in meditation. So as I said, theory is theory, practice is practice, and APS is purely for practice. So the most important section of this APS daily program is meditation. So, and meditation is being with breath. So accept breath. Don't give priority to anything else. That's when you are giving your best from your side and leave about the results. Results will come, even if you don't want. So what is in your hands is doing your part. So let us start day 5 of meditation. 5 steps, sitting comfortably. But we have a 6th step, taking off the spectacles. And thanks to all those who have kept the videos on. Personally, thank you so much. And start relaxing. Meditation is purely non-doing. It's a pure relaxation. All we are trying to learn is the knack of how to slip into meditation. So with practice, by the end of this program, we all will be masters at that. So with that positive belief and with a great intention for a wonderful meditation, let's start, my friends. Sit comfortably, clasp your hands, cross your feet, and close your eyes. And go to the breath through the body. Because breath is a physical sensation. It's not an idea. It is something which we can experience at the nostrils or at the belly. Before going to breath, make sure you give a couple of minutes to totally relax. Remember, we are not trying to achieve anything. All we are trying is to be, just be. Relax every cell in the body. Without relaxing, there is no meditation. Unless we are comfortable, we cannot drop the body and mind. Anapanasati. Start paying attention to the breath that is happening right now. Look at the inhalation and the exhalation. And see if the breath is natural. Let us take out all our interference. Let us not regulate or control the breath. Let us become the observers, because we are that. Enjoy being with every breath, my dear friends, without a struggle or fight with thoughts. Ease. Let there be ease in the body, which will lead to the ease in mind. Breath is the only way. Interestingly, the observer is also in the breath. So when we are with breath, we are with ourselves. No visualizations, no chanting, no analysis, no past, no future. Here, now, this breath, my dear friends. Normal, natural inhalation and exhalation. Don't go with thoughts. Enjoy coming back to breath again and again and flowing with breath. Normal, natural breath. Please be with your breath. Last 10 minutes. slowly start coming back. Take your time, and when you are ready, slowly unclasp your hands and place them on your eyes for 5 to 10 seconds. And you can open your eyes when you're ready. Please take your time, my dear friends. Thank you so much. Wonderful meditation. Let's invite Shibu for a beautiful topic today. Over to you, Shibu.
Thank you, Sampath. Sharing my screen now. Sampath, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So, dear friends, today's topic is Buddha's Noble Eightfold Path. So before we begin the session today, let's begin in gratitude to the great master, Gautama Buddha, Siddhartha, who realized his Buddhahood. Right? He has given us this great gift of Anapanasati meditation and also the Eightfold Path to achieve one's own enlightenment. So first, let's start with the 4 noble truths which Buddha discovered. He used his life, he was an experimenter, he went through his life journey and found these 4 noble truths, which is there is suffering or dukkha everywhere. And suffering is because of excessive desires or cravings. And the cessation of those sufferings come from the cessation of the desires. Essentially, the right understanding of life, gaining the right understanding of life. And there is a path which leads us out of suffering. And that, my friends, dear friends, is the Noble Eightfold Path. Okay, so when we say eightfold, it is the 8 practices which Buddha taught to achieve our own self-realization. So the first is the right view or understanding. Second is the right resolve, intent, or thought. Third, the right speech. And the fourth is right action. Fifth, right livelihood, right effort. Seventh is right mindfulness. Eighth, and the final one is the right concentration. So these 8 can further be divided into 3 categories. And these are the ones which will lead us to the enlightenment or nirvana. So you can see the first is Shila or the morality. Second is Samadhi or the control of the mind. Third is Prajna or the purification of the mind. So let's look into the details. So we mentioned that there are eight different paths, right? These are further divided into 3 categories. And those are Shila, and under that, there we have the right speech, right action, and the right livelihood. And under Samadhi, we have right concentration, right effort, and right mindfulness. And under prajna, we have right understanding and right thought. Prajna is the knowledge. So this is a very important slide. So we have looked at the categories, and this is how we should be visualizing it. The first is a solid foundation, which is the Shila. And as you can see, the morality is the foundation or the basis on which everything else can be built on top of. So here we can see the right speech, right action, and the right livelihood. So once we attain the samadhi, then we can see things as they are, the real truth. That's when we get into the right understanding, the right thought. So I remember this one thing which Patriji mentions, which is the journey from the wrong thinking to no thinking to the right thinking. So which is what you see in the third one, which is the right understanding and right thought. With this, let's go to the next one. Let's delve into each of these in detail now. So what does right speech mean? So this is not speaking what is untrue or using abusive or harsh language, rather speaking words that are honest or helpful and creating vibrations of peace and harmony. So essentially, word is our power to create. It's the magic or the power which we have, right? But it's just power, it's just magic. So we can either use to create white magic or black magic. It's totally up to us. We have that choice. So this is why we need to always use it in the direction of truth and love. No lies, hurt, or gossip. And we have a session planned for this where we will cover this in detail about the impeccability of word, where how people will use word, people can use word to hurt self as well as the people who they love the most, right? So we'll talk about that in detail over there. So the next, second is the right action. Here we're talking about right speech, which should always be followed by the right action. Not killing, minimizing the amount of pain we inflict on other beings, not stealing, that is not taking what is not given. Also not causing suffering to others out of greed or desire for pleasant sensations. Essentially creating good karma, right? Actions which will benefit self and others. Performing actions without getting affected or attached to the result. Then, I know from personal experience, and there is no stress. Then the third is right livelihood. Right livelihood involves our relationship in the world. So doing that kind of work for support and maintenance, which is not harmful for others. Not engaging in work which involves killing, stealing, or dishonesty. Essentially respecting all life, not interfering in others' life. So these are the three in the bottom category, which is the basis for us to get to the samadhi stage. Let's go to that category now. All right, so, okay. So this is the right effort. We're starting with the right effort. So right effort equates to positive thinking followed by focused action. The right effort should produce an attitude of steady, cheerful determination. Steady and cheerful determination. Right effort is energetic will to keep evil from arising, to get rid of such evil that has already arisen, and to produce the good not yet arisen. And the fourth and the final one is to develop the good that has already arisen. So if you look at it this way, right, essentially doing the right thing, essentially the will to maintain good thoughts, words, and deeds. Essentially, we're talking about the will. The final one is the effort. The effort has to be balanced. Being very tense and anxious is a great hindrance. Energy has to be balanced with tranquility. So even doing the right thing, even when we are doing the right thing, it has to be with the sense of ease. The mind has to be peaceful and absolutely at ease. So there has to be sincerity in our efforts and also the seriousness. Essentially, if we are serious, then we are always going to do our best. And the next one is the right mindfulness. The right mindfulness means being aware of what is happening at this present moment. It is to be diligently aware of the activities of the body, which we have been practicing every day. In this awareness, we may see how fears of possible future limits our present actions. Right mindfulness is closely linked with meditation and forms the basis of meditation. So essentially, this is the complete attention on any work which we are performing at this moment, at this point in time, which is essentially not diverting. Yesterday, we talked about how external thoughts and even people can divert our attention, right? We can just get sucked into other things. This is entirely focusing on what we are doing at this moment. So talking of which, we should all be listening to this presentation at this point in time. Entire focus, attention on this. Next is the right concentration. Essentially, this is the right meditation, which we have been doing, the Anapanasati. So this is the mindfulness of breathing, which we have already seen, centering the consciousness evenly and rightly on a single object, undistracted and unscattered. It's also the right concentration is a state of awareness without any object or subject, and ultimately onto nothingness and emptiness. Okay. So now, friends, we are moving into the third category, which is the prajna. And prajna consists of the right understanding and right thoughts. This is the right understanding part. So the realities and truths are within us and not outside us. The whole spiritual path involves letting go, non-clinging, and generosity are the manifestation of non-attachment. Profound, subtle knowledge of our true nature, the law of cause and effect, our acts are motivated by greed, hatred, or delusion. So only after we achieve this state of samadhi, we can start understanding this. And so if we are acting out of hatred or greed, we can never become peaceful. And I'm sure in the coming sessions, we will be talking a lot about this in detail. I'm sure Sampath will talk a lot about this. Yeah. Continuing on. So are our acts motivated by generosity, love, or wisdom? The results are happiness and peace. So the right understanding that is developed in meditation through careful and penetrating observation. So this right understanding which we are talking about here cannot come through observation from others or knowledge which is or wisdom or knowledge which is coming from others. Right? What it's saying is we have to get it with ourselves, our own experience in meditation. The last one is to see things as they really are. So in the last and the eighth one is the right thought and the intent. The right thought is the free sense of desire, free of sense of desire, free of ill will, free of cruelty. It's eliminating evil thoughts and developing pure thoughts. Becoming aware of sense desires and letting them go. Freedom from anger, thoughts free of cruelty towards any being, and harmfulness are thoughts of compassion. And the last one, free ourselves from selfishness and possessiveness. So these are the 8 practices which Buddha suggested. If we practice this, Buddha mentioned that we are on our path to enlightenment. So let's look at the keywords. So these are the ones which we need to get into the samadhi state or the stillness: awareness, attention, and observation. Next, if you see, once we attain the samadhi or stillness, we can and we will choose to see things as they are. This is staying in neutrality without getting attached into anything. The state of Sthita Prajna, which Sampath will talk about. And the three things are wisdom, intelligence, and understanding. So finally, dear friends, let's end in gratitude to the great, great master, just as we began. Thank you. Over to you, Sampath.
Wonderful, Shibu. Thank you so much.
Thank
Was it you or was it Buddha through you?
It was definitely Buddha through me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Friends, once again, that is theory, because even if Buddha gave it, Patriji gave it, or whoever gives it, till you experience, it is theory. So Buddha gave three kinds of knowledges. It was called as prajna. Prajna is knowledge. One is Shrutamaya Prajna, and two is Chintanamaya Prajna, and three is Bhavanamaya Prajna. Shrutamaya Prajna is what you hear from others or read from books, and you think you know. That is only theory. Chintanamaya Prajna is where you reason, analyze, and use your intellect and get convinced that yes, this is right. That is also still not true knowledge. That is, you are just convinced with it, but you agree with it. But the real knowledge is what you experience. So practice is all about experiencing and making it your truth. What you experience is your truth, and that alone is truth according to Buddha. So the path which he designed was so perfect that he didn't want you to believe in anything, including him. He just showed the path. If you walk that path, you will realize. And he was so scientific. He didn't use anything where there could be scope for illusion or blind beliefs. No, he is undoubtedly the greatest spiritual scientist. What he struggled a lot to realize, to get the self-realization and enlightenment. He had everything in life. Generally, people like us, when we come for meditation, we have a list of things. If I meditate, I want this, I want this, I want this. He had everything. He already had everything. He wanted only truth. He left everything that he had just to find the truth. And he dedicated at least 5 years, and he tried a lot of methods. He struggled hard, went to a lot of gurus, and was so exhausted. And finally, he came one night, sat under a tree, and that's when Anapanasati happened to him. And that's when he understood the truth. And that's what, for the rest of his life, he walked a lot across the countries, and he taught meditation to millions of people. And that's why he's so great. So we are extremely grateful. And today, Anapanasati, the word itself, is coined by Buddha, and his consciousness is touching us through this meditation. So coming to the practice part, we are sitting for meditation. We are with breath. We are struggling with thoughts for some time. But because of the deep meditations and long meditations, we are able to calm the thoughts, the body, and we are able to attain peace. Is that what is the ultimate thing in meditation? No. We are going to practice the knack of coming out of the mind. But for that, we need to know where to see and catch the mind. So Buddha gave in Vipassana where to catch the mind. He said, when you feel good, when you have a pleasant thought or a feeling in the mind, it shows on the body as a subtle, pleasant sensation. So after the breath calms down, once you are still, that's when you start observing the subtler sensations on the breath, on the body. And whenever there is a pleasant thought or a pleasant feeling on the body, you will have a pleasant sensation. It can be very subtle. Maybe you, as of now, you may not observe, but that's the practice. And once you start catching that sensation, that's where you are able to catch the mind. Because mind is all about the pleasant and unpleasant sensations. Wherever there is pleasant sensation, you are craving for the same pleasantness. And wherever there is unpleasantness, you hate it, you don't want it. So the whole journey is between the craving and the aversion. So you want something and you don't want something. And this is what the nature of mind is. So this is where you need to catch the mind. But for that, you need to get into a state where you can observe this, where you can see this. So for that, we initially practice meditation, calm the mind down, and then even breath becomes a bit still. That's when you know everything that happens in the mind and on the body. And how exactly you need to deal with it. When you find a pleasant sensation or an unpleasant sensation, you should not get into craving or aversion. In fact, you have to understand the most important truth given by Buddha there called impermanence. Impermanence. Any sensation, whether it be pleasant or unpleasant, it will be there for a few moments and it will go off. That is natural happening. Anything, any good thing or bad thing, once you feel it, it is there for a few moments and it's gone again. So Buddha says, understand the impermanence in the nature of everything that happens. Anything that happens, it comes and it goes. So change is something which is permanent. So understand the impermanence and remember that impermanence. It is good, but it will not stay for long. It is bad, but it will not stay for long. Everything has to go. So this anitya is the truth. And the whole of the knowledge has to be based on truth. So this is the basis for exercising your choice, whether to go with the pleasantness or unpleasantness. No, you are in the neutrality because both pleasant and unpleasant are going to be impermanent. So why go with anything else? Stay and get stuck with the neutrality. See it, let it go. See it, let it go. That's what is the true practice. And the one who practices that neutrality will become like Krishna, Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna is called Sthita Prajna. You know, Sthita Prajnata is nothing but you are sthit in the prajna, in the knowledge of impermanence. You are settled. You know that nothing can move you. Everything pleasant, unpleasant comes. You know that it comes and it goes. So you're not shaken. You're not touched. And practicing that is the true practice. And to get into that practice, we meditate and get into the stillness first. So once you attain the stillness, then you are able to use this wisdom and you will be a contented person. And that's what Sthita Pragnata is all about. And that is what Buddha has done in his life and what he has taught. Meditation is to attain that state, which is the enlightened state. So pay more attention to the practice. And in meditation, it's not just sitting for 40 minutes or you don't know whether you're sleeping or thinking. No, be aware. Where am I? What am I doing? Thoughts are coming. Okay, no problem. Thoughts have come down. Fine. Now what? If you're not able to observe breath has become so still that you cannot know whether you're breathing or not. That's when you can start being with the sensations of the body. Wherever the pleasant or unpleasant comes, get into the neutrality and maintain that neutrality. And that is the practice, my dear friends. From tomorrow, we're already done with 5 days of practice. Now we are good to get into meditation and be very, very watchful of these things and become a Sthita Prajna. Okay? So I hope all in for that. Today we have taken the whole time off. It's already 7:14. Sunil, do we have time for Q&A?
Yes, Sampath, it's almost 7:15.
Yeah.
What do you suggest? Should we
We'll
take
take Q&A tomorrow then?
Yeah,
Right?
we'll allocate some more time for tomorrow.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
One more important point I want to say and finish it with is to act out of this wisdom that everything is impermanent. First, you need to master the ability of being in the moment. Only when you are able to be in the present moment, you can deal with it. So for that, you need to cut the past and future, be with this breath that is happening right now and settled in the present moment. And that's when you are good to go and deal with the pleasant and unpleasant sensations. So this is the practice which will continue for the next 16 days, my dear friends. Thank you so much. We had a wonderful session, and once again, gratitude to the great master. And thanks to each and every one of you for this wonderful meditation and for your presence. See you tomorrow. Have a nice day and good night. Bye all. That's it, Sunil? Yes, I think that's it. Take care. Bye.
Yes, that's it. Yes. Thank you so much. Have a nice day, everyone. Good night. See you tomorrow.